We can say that this awakening phenomenon is an orientation of what we think of as knowing. It is said that everything falls away. But what does that actually point to? The sense perceptions remain, as does the body, and thoughts, and emotions, and the apparent world. If all of this remains, then how can everything fall? What falls is the psychological structure of knowing what anything is. How, why, who, where, when. And of course, this doesn't mean we forget how to make a sandwich, or that practical knowledge of living falls. It's the meaning-making mechanism that is seen through. Meaning is seen to be empty of meaning. It turns out that existential knowledge is non-existent as anything resembling truth. And in this way, there is no such thing as conceptual truth. Most humans believe that we know what this is, how it works, what's going on. We believe that we can become what we imagine is better than this. But we don't know what this even is. And many of us can't even discern that which is the better me is literally just a fantasy right now. We reject this ordinary miracle for a fantasy. This immersive disassociation is comforting to us, and at the same time, it's the source of the very imaginary thing we long to rid ourselves of. Ourself. It gives us a sense of control, but never actually control. We believe we know what it will mean to recognize the absence of the self. The one speakers say was non-existent in the first place. But if there was never anyone here, then what makes us believe that anything at all will change when this no self is recognized? It's the existential meaning of anything at all that falls away. And without that, how can we know where we are on a map towards this thing we long to attain? How can we even know that we are lost? existential knowledge is seen to have actually never existed, even though it seemed so real. And without it, the only problem is that there is no problem. And that definitely does not mean that which we call problems do not arise. But the body already knows how to react to problems that may arise in the appearance of life. And in this life, in this unfathomable, thingless thing called reality, all is already free to arise. This will not become a restricted, preferred, specified, transcendent, sustained state. That is completely imaginary. No. This is freedom for the thoughts and emotions to arise, not freedom from them. This is the unconditional love that allows all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is simply recognizing the utterly empty nature of the psychological realm, the end of mistaking ropes for snakes. This is a rebellious and courageous plunge into the unknown. A seeing that there never was a conceptual ground to stand upon. It only seemed that way. And this unknowable emptiness looks, feels, sounds, tastes, and smells just like this. It is this chaotic flow of life, this fragile, vulnerable human, this full-on intensity. The emptiness and fullness are not two. Life can't know what it is. It can only be it. An idea of control cannot control this appearance. This is not what we think it is. What this is cannot be captured with language or images in the mind. And without the realm of symbolic meaning, there can be a seeing that all that appears is already allowed. It's indivisible, whole and complete. It is already the freedom of expressing what seems to be preferred or not. Grasping and aversion are literally made of this same alive freedom. The belief in knowing is a thick fog, and when it seems to lift, an obviousness can be revealed. This is the great humbling of the expression of arrogance. The ability to look at life and say, no, I know what this is, and it isn't good enough. It should be the way I imagine it should be. Can we really know that? Can we really know anything? What at all does this miraculous, alive appearance have to do with knowing? All that is believed to be conceptual knowledge is free to arise and fall and parade about the dream, as liberated as the wind blows, with nothing to stop it. Because that pseudo-knowledge is this too. It can't get outside of itself, to know itself, to manipulate itself, or even judge itself. And yet would never deprive itself of the appearance of these things. This is untouchable liberation. Already.